Yes, dear friends. Now we shall discuss about the continued part of effect of the British rule in India. Here, the Britishers introduced the education systems in India. What are the effects of British education in India? That is the main theme of this. See, the effects of British education in India. They introduced the British education in India. What were the effects? The introduction of British education in India. See, the Indians became aware of the ideas of democracy. Before that, Indians did not have any ideas of democracy by the people, to the people, for the people. That is called democracy, isn't it? So, what is democracy? What are the rules and regulations are there? Not new by our Indian people on those days. So, the British education implementation, which is helpful to understand the people about democracy and also secularism. Our country is a secularism, giving all opportunity to all religion and modernity. So, the British education implementation, which is helpful to Indian people to understand democracy, to secularism and also modernity. So, they also developed rational way of thinking and also nationalistic ideas. So, rational way of thinking and nationalistic ideas have given by the study of new education system. So, that is helpful to all Indian people to understand the differently thinking rationally and nationalistic ideas comes to our people by the effect of British education in India. One point. Next, it was also helpful in reducing the caste barriers. India is vast country and number of caste and class are there here. So, English education implementation, which is reduce the barriers of caste and also resulted in the emergence of new social religious reformation movement. So, reduce the caste barriers and start the socio-religious reformation by our Indian people, that is forced and motivated to all Indian people by the study of or implementation of British education in India. Okay, second point. Now third point, periodicals were published not only in English but also in new languages. During that time, periodicals were only available in English. The effect of British education in India, the periodicals not only published in English and also local or regional languages like Kannada, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil, like that. Isn't it? So, through that ways, the periodicals published in India, so regional people, they were tried to understand their language, what happened in our India and the world also. Isn't it? So that is helpful to understand what happened in our India. These helped the people to scrutinize the policies. What are the policies implemented by British government during that time, understand, and the working of the government. What are the work happening by the government during that time also understand, and also study various issues critically. Number of issues are arising on those days. So these are all also understood by the study of Indian people. They are regional languages periodicals. So next, the educated began admiring the thoughts of thinkers. The education here, the educated youth began admiring the thoughts of thinkers. Those who are getting good education, they are thinking and admiring and inspiring and influenced by the important thinkers of J.S. Mill and also Rousseau and also Montesquieu. They were important thinkers during that time. Their thoughts are also understood by the Indian people by the effect of British education in India. And Indians became aware of the freedom struggle going on in other parts of the world. Indian freedom struggle going on. Everything message have received by the Indian people during that time. Okay. Indians developed sense of pride regarding their culture and rich heritage. So, India is vast country. The regional people, they understood only their culture, their richness, their local ways also. But not know about what happened, the rich culture of our India and world. Whenever the British English education implemented, they can understand and they could understood about their culture and also rich heritage of our country. Next, the important question about what were the restrictions imposed in regulating. So, British has implemented important acts to control East India Company here. So, among them, one of the important act that is known as the Regulating Act, which is implemented in 1773. See, this is the Parliament Act of Great Britain imposed a series of administrative and economic restrictions to regulate the administration of the East India Company. Okay, students, during that time, East India Company did so many misuse to collect the land tax and kept personally by them like that. Totally, the revenue and financial matters and other administrative matters also misused by the British East India Company officials. That's why the Britain government has taken some decision to control over the East India Company. That is the main aim of the implementation of the Regulating Act, to take control over that. What are the restrictions of Regulating Act here? The government in India was to be under the control of Governor General, strictly enforced. Each and every province and state should control by the Governor, British Governor General. One thing. Second one, the administration of all three presidents. The British government appointed three important provincial presidency states: Bengal, Bombay, and Madras Presidential. So, for that presidential appointed three members as the Governor General. But here, what to be monitored by the Governor General of Bengal. The Governor General nominated three, okay, but here the other also governed by the Governor General of Bengal here. And the Bombay and Madras presidencies were not authorized to wage war against any Indian state. During that time, Bombay and Madras presidency do not make any war or wage war and anything else against Indian state, or any enter into peace treaties without the permission of the Governor General of Bengal. So, the Governor General appointed by the British, Madras, Bombay and Bengal. Okay, Bengal Governor had the great power to look after all other tools also. So, here do not make any peace treaties and war ways against any provincial state. That opportunity not available to them without the prior permission of the Bengal governor. So, here the Governor General Bengal and the Board of Directors of the company, unless in case of acute emergency. So, next the three Board of Governor General, okay. The next one board also came into existence, that is called Board of Directors. The Board of Directors company came into existence. Next power has given to them also. Next last one, Supreme Court was established in Calcutta in dispense justice. The one of the important justice given institution, that is the Supreme Court, that is was also established during the 1773 Regulating Act. Next one, important act implemented by British rule in India. What are the important features of the Indian government are top The license of East India Company was cancelled and India was brought under the direct administration of the say the misuse of East India Company, that is the main effect. That's why the 1858 Act passed, the license of East India Company cancelled. Indian government or Indian everything activities should be controlled by the Queen. One thing that is passed. The post of Governor General was changed into Viceroy. Before that, the Governor General post introduced. But now that Governor General post changed their name as Viceroy. See, Lord Canning became the first Viceroy of India. Who is the first Viceroy of India? Lord Canning was the first Viceroy of India. Before that, there is no Viceroy name. That time only Governor General. Bombay, Madras and Bengal provinces nominated Governor General. But here the Governor General name changed as the Viceroy. The first Governor General was nominated by the British Queen. None other than he was the Lord Canning. Next, the new post also called Secretary of State for India started. With the Viceroy, the next one person appointment, that is Secretary of State for India, so which was created in the Britishers. Which was created by the Britishers, British government. The Secretary, he was part of British cabinet and was responsible for the administration of India. See, the Secretary General appointed by the British government, he was the one of the main part of the British India, British or Britain, and also he was the main administrative person of the India also. So he did two sides his administrative work. A Council of India was created in order to assist the Secretary in the administration. So the Secretary is main responsible person. So assistant also very necessary to do his work also. That's why the Council of India was created. The one of the assist the Secretary, assistant of the Secretary in the administration. The Council had 15 members. So the Council also formed or created for the help of the Secretary General of the India. Here there were appointed only 15 members as the assistant of Secretary. Next, in our history, the Great Act was passed. That was 1935. Dear students, the question may ask like that: how does the Indian Government Act of 1935 became the base of Indian Constitution? Nowadays, our Constitution is right way. Fundamental documents great. So how the 1935 Act, which was based on the Indian nowadays Constitution, may question asked. You have to write it down here because it was the first time proposed for on all India Federation. So it is concluded first time proposed for all India Federation. The federation was divided into two categories. See, the federation which was introduced by the British government during the 1935 Act. What is that? The federation divided into two. One is the British, the Indian provinces, and the Dominion states. So the one is Indian provinces, British, and Dominion states, also known as Princely states. So these are the two important categories as the federation divided by the 1935 Act for the smooth rules and regulation running in India. The federal government is one of the salient features of Indian Constitution. So nowadays our Constitution on the basis of the federal government, isn't it? So that is the base for us. So next, the Dayarchi was introduced at the center and the subjects were divided into centrally, provincially and concurrent. Dayarchi means two government, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, isn't it? So that rules divided by that time, that that is called hierarchy was introduced at the central. And also subject was divided into three categories. One, state, central lead, provincial lead, and also concurrent lead. The subject were also divided in the three leads. One is provincial, central, and concurrent leads. The subject were divided. Everyone should take the part of responsibility to the hierarchy introduced in the central government. Central government look after all those things. Subject divided into three categories. Next, a federal court was established. Federal government, okay. The court also introduced here at the central level, and it had jurisdiction over Indian provinces and principally states. So, Indian states and Indian state and Indian other states, the jurisdiction is also given by the federal court. The act provided for provincial autonomy, which is followed even today. The provincial autonomy also has given by the 1935 Act. That's why we are followed even today also. Next, the important thing happened during the 1935 Act. The Reserve Bank of India, this was established. It is functioning as the supreme financial authority. Before that, there is no Reserve Bank, there is no central bank. So, 1935 Act, which was helpful to establish the Supreme Court in 1935. So, as all these provisions provided by the Government Act of 1935, the financial authority given to the Reserve Bank of India. So, all included in the Indian Constitution frame after independence. It is considered as the base of Indian Constitution. Next important act, none other than that is the 1919 Act. What were the great features of 1919 Act? See here. One is this act formulated bicameral legislative body. Two-cameral legislative body, lower house and also upper house. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, like that. And house were formed. Lower house and upper house also divided in 1919 Act. The hierarchy was allowed at regional governments, but central government only the hierarchy in 1935. But here the hierarchy allowed to regional governments also, in local bodies. A High Commissioner was appointed for India. The Reserve Bank of India introduced, but here the High Commissioner also was introduced for India in that act. It promised to improve local self-government. That is assured to the people of India to promise improve local self-government. The Gram Panchayat, Taluk Panchayat, Village Panchayat, like that, Jilla Panchayat. So, provincial budget was separated from central budget. So, here the opportunity given, the central budget is separated from the state budget also in the 1919 Act. Next, separate electoral college also introduced, that is the Muslims, Sikhs and Anglo-Indians and also Europeans. Okay, so these are the main contents of that lesson. The lesson was over. Okay, students, next I will continue the another